Hello, We Can't Wrestle. Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome live in the We Can't Wrestle page, the We Can't Wrestle Facebook group, the We Can't Wrestle YouTube page, and the 2300 Pod Facebook group to this edition of Something or Other That We're Doing. Hey, I like the name of that show. It's something or other that we're doing. And we want to welcome you all. And this is kind of Aaron's rodeo here. We're going to be talking about his dream tag team tournament that he has set up here in the We Can't Wrestle group. If you're watching us on the page and you want to be part of things like this, just join the group. We're actually waiting to try to get 400 members, and if we get 400 members, We Can't Wrestle group. If you're looking to give something away myself, it's this guy right here. If we get 400 members, we're gonna have a drawing or probably a randomizer with Archie Mitchell for this Ring of Honor World Television Championship. It is missing one side plate, but hey, that's free. Come on, people.
Who's Aaron? Give me some of the names of the people that are in the tournament, so that way I could tag them so they can be here.
Oh man, like Tyler Dove's in there.
Okay.
Mike Phillips. There's a ton of people in it. Mandy's in there.
Yeah, I have Tyler and Mandy tagged. Give me a couple of. Oh shit, I can't. Wait a minute. Never mind.
Yeah, you can't do shit because
I can't do shit
because you got a dirty mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, I am currently in Facebook jail. So if you don't see me comment or do anything for the next 24 hours, I apologize.
I've been plugging the hell out of this thing. So if people aren't on it, they're on it. That's their fault.
They miss out, exactly.
Their problem.
And they're still in the tournament. They're just not going to see this. I don't know how to even tell how many people are even watching. That's Nate's thing.
Right now we have 6 live.
Oh.
Nobody has commented yet, but we got
Hey, that's triple the audience of mine and Kyle's show.
Whoever this is that Archie can't say what he did.
I can say what I did.
Don't say it.
I have to. Well, I won't say it, but I'll spell it out nicely.
Yeah, don't get me banned.
I was making a joke with a friend of mine named Matthew Gore, and I called him the C word.
See you next Tuesday.
And Facebook apparently frowns upon that, so I was hit with a 24-hour ban. I'm very broken up about it. I find it hysterical. It makes no sense that I'm banned right now.
Welcome to the club, Archie. Aaron and I
have both. Nate, the stupidity.
4 times I've been banned.
Nate, the stupidity is I've said so many worse things than calling somebody the C word. You know what I mean? It's like, you got me for this, really?
Right.
Yeah, and all he did was call somebody Canadian.
Cannot.
But the way the tournament's going to work is there's 24 teams in this hermetically sealed bucket.
Hermetically sealed.
And I'm going to open it up. We're going to draw the names. Nate and Arch are going to kind of help talk while I do this.
Right.
And 24 teams. There's a first round, obviously, a second round, a third round, and each one of those are individual, or I should say individual. They're all tag team matches, 2-on-2 traditional tag team. The finals is a 3-way dance, and the way the winners are determined is by votes. And it doesn't even have to be votes of the people involved in the tournament. Anybody on anybody that's involved in the We Can't Wrestle Facebook group, you have to be a member. That was one of the other rules. Only members are involved in this tournament. But you also have to be a member to vote. And the winner at the end of the tournament gets the SmackDown First Edition magazine, a Drake Maverick Elite action figure, and a Macho Man Randy Savage Masters of the Universe action figure. So, I don't know how much the SmackDown magazine would be, but I know the figure's like $20, and the Macho Man one is like $14. So there you go.
Shipping and everything, they're getting a $50 value for absolutely free, and all they got to do is vote and talk up their tag.
Yeah, and have fun.
Yeah,
for nothing.
Free shit.
Hanging out and having a good time.
Yes.
Also, make sure that You guys, like I said, discuss and fight for your team when the voting comes up. And
Right.
each match will be a day. It'll be like a 12-hour, however. Basically, it'll depend on when I go to work and when I go home. Remote has got to work, man.
You can't afford that free food you're giving away if you don't have a job.
If I ain't making $1. And then the finals will be a 2-day vote. So, you guys ready?
We are ready.
All right. Here's team number 1.
Do you have written down who is that team?
I have the team and the person representing them.
Okay, cool.
I know what I'm doing.
Do you want me to keep notes for you in my other phone, and this way I'll just send them to you and you'll have them, or no?
You can do that in case I miss one.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your
Shake your bucket.
Shake your tourney.
All right, team number 1. Team number 1 is the Midnight Express.
Oh.
It's a good team.
Yes, and they are represented by Roger Talent.
All right, Roger. Roger Talent, represented by the best tag team in NWA history.
I agree with that. In any variation.
I love the rock and rolls. I love Tully and Arn. And Aaron, I know you probably think, Aaron, I'm sure you'd vote for Tully and Arn in that category, but Midnight is my favorite tag team in the NWA.
Midnight revolutionized tag team wrestling. And teams like the Rockers and even the Young Bucks, I know you hate them, Nate, are still to this day mimicking moves that the Midnight Express used to do.
Yes, Young Bucks are definitely fucking up moves that the Midnight Express Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. But no, I know what you're saying, Archie. I get it. I absolutely agree. They were trendsetters.
So before I say this next one, I got a question real quick.
Yes.
Art, you mentioned both versions. Each one of you guys, Stan and Bobby, Dennis and Bobby.
I liked Stan and Bobby more. Dennis was a little more clumsy for me, where Stan and Bobby were crisp.
I would also go with Stan and Bobby. And I just always thought that, and I know Condrey was a great pro wrestler, and
he was.
I have not seen a lot of Dennis Condrey, not in the NWA. I mean, if you hear people talk about him in the Southern Territories and stuff, he was a machine. But to me, Stan and Bobby were that perfect mix of Bobby was kind of the quiet assassin in the ring, I guess, the technician, and Stan was the charismatic ladies man or what have you. And then you got me in the middle. That's my favorite version.
And then the joke of it all was Bobby was the one with the nickname Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Stan was the more better looking of the two. So it worked out perfectly.
All right. Well, guess who the Midnight Express is facing?
I hope it's not Arn and Tully.
It's not. It's the Mega Powers.
Hulk Hogan and the
Macho Man Randy Savage. Mega Powers is Jeremy Cotton.
Okay. I'm sure hoping Midnight is able to beat the Mega Powers, because I have a feeling people are going to see that on the poll and be like, I got to vote for Hogan and Savage, even though we both know that the Midnight Express is the better tag team.
Well, if you want to hear all of our thoughts on the Mega Powers, you should go listen to the last episode of the We Can't Wrestle podcast entitled Get Your Shoe Dummy. And go listen to that bad boy. It was
best name for a podcast ever.
Have you ever seen the Heenan show where Bobby said that, Archie?
Mm-hmm. That's what when you guys said it at the ending of the episode, that's what made me pop, because I heard Bobby saying it in my head and I went, oh my God.
Get your shoe dummy.
Get your shoe dummy.
And I know you guys can, like, in our group, just talking and stuff, tend to compare me to Bobby Heenan, which I don't think I'm near as funny as him, but that's the closest thing to like Bobby Heenan that I think I am. Just calling somebody a dummy. Get their shoe.
Get your shoe dummy.
Your shoe dummy. The next team is represented by Ryan Damon, and it is Edge and Christian.
Good tag team. I Again, another team that helped revolutionize tag team wrestling, but only in the late 90s.
Yes.
Ryan Damon, right?
Ryan Damon, yes.
Okay.
They were part of the resurgence of tag team wrestling during the Attitude Era, during the late part of the Attitude Era.
I think even without, which the TLC match helped all three teams get over, but I think even without that TLC match, all three of those teams were doing fantastic work against each other. So it didn't matter that they did that crazy of a ladder match, but the ladder match helped them get pushed over the edge.
Yes.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
The next team that, the team that Edge and Christian will be facing is my third favorite tag team of all time, the British Bulldogs.
Right.
Wow.
And they are represented by Isaac George. And Isaac George has a last name, but I forgot to write it down. But Isaac, you're in there, buddy. The Bulldog.
Is it Isaac George Vizrajas?
Sure.
I think that's his, but I'm just gonna put it as Isaac George.
Okay.
Wow, what a if that match would have happened with the Bulldogs in their prime against Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Nate, that might have been a 5-star match.
Maybe.
Dynamite against Edge and Christian trying to outpower the Bulldog, and then Edge having to come in and save his butt,
Would have been fun stuff.
Yes. And the next team is they're a dark horse in this tournament because Chad had a deep cut for this. Our buddy Chad Austin picked the Blackhearts.
Okay.
Which was David Heath and Tom Nash. They were a Stampede tag team managed by Luna Vachon.
I was not aware that was Gangrel as one of the Blackhearts. Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow, you guys just taught me something.
Those of you that don't know, yes, the David Heath is Gangrel. Also, there you go. There's a connection there with Edge and Christian as well.
Wow. Okay. I don't mind the Blackhearts. They weren't a bad team. It's just I think by the time they got to national, to actually be on television, WWE wasn't really going to, or WWF wasn't really going to use them in all that great a manner, so they became jobbers or enhancement talent. I apologize, Chad.
Jeremy Cox free Archie Mitchell
tomorrow at 8:30.
The next team is represented by Ashton Kincaid, and I'm sorry, Chad, but the Blackhearts have to face Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody.
Oh man!
Speaking of Stan Hansen and Chad Austin, go listen to the 2300 pod and hear Chad Austin's story about Stan Hansen this week.
Wow! What a powerhouse tag team. Sorry, Chad.
Yeah, I think the Blackhearts might be going out in the first round. What do you guys think?
I think the Blackhearts might be going to the cemetery after the first round.
You got a goddamn fight in your hands, Chad.
Unless Stan Hansen, unless they can hit Hansen in his blind spot,
right? Is the match happening in Puerto Rico? Because then Bruiser might not make it out. We know how he does in Puerto Rico.
The dark side of Archie Mitchell.
Hey, I'm in jail.
That's why you're in jail, buddy.
They're gonna put me in the
like
hole.
That.
What are you gonna do? Put me in the hole?
You'll be in solitary confinement.
I'll still have you guys talk to.
Yeah.
The next team, represented by Ryan Webb, is the Road Warriors.
All right.
Animal and Hawk.
We have a potential. Does that mean we have a potential Hansen and Brody versus the Road Warriors match in the tournament?
In the next round.
Yes, we do.
Now, I'm going to say something here, and I hope no one will get upset with me. I wasn't a huge Road Warriors fan. I liked them.
Say hi to Aaron. Say hi to Aaron.
Hey!
Hi.
Did you see that McDonald's title I sent you?
I did.
You're the McDonald's champ, kid.
Want it.
Got to wear that into McDonald's proudly. Be like, give me a Big Mac.
Give me a Big Mac. You can't see me.
But like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the Road Warriors when I was younger and growing into wrestling. I was more of a Demolition fan. So like I said, I didn't hate them, but I wasn't like a huge, oh my God, paint my face and wear spikes and
I was
God
more a
rest in
demolition.
peace,
I was more a demolition guy in my youth too. Being honest.
When they came in and destroyed Demolition, I was pissed off. I was like, really, they're going to destroy Demolition that easily?
All right, anything else on that?
Nope. Good
All right,
tag team for Ryan Webb, though.
Yeah, the next team is represented by Tyler Dove. He is the manager of the Rock and Sock Connection.
Oh, God.
I don't know who Facebook user is.
The Road Warriors, Legion of Doom versus Rock and Sock.
I don't know who Facebook user is. I joined in late. And have the Dudleys been picked yet? No, they have not.
Well, they've been picked. They just haven't been drawn.
They haven't been drawn yet.
I think that's what they meant, if they've been drawn yet. I don't have much to say about the Rock and Sock Connection. They were a great comedy tag team, but that's about it.
Yeah, they were a team I didn't see any. I didn't expect anybody to pick the Rock and Sock. It was kind of like when somebody picked the Mega Powers.
Right.
I wasn't expecting it.
Not
But they were technically a tag team.
Yeah, technically for at least a while.
They were champions. The Mega Powers can't say that. The Mega Powers were never tag team champions.
No, they weren't. You guys got anything else on the Road Warrior Rock and Sock match?
I'd pick Road Warriors in that one. What about you, Nate?
I would pick the Road Warriors, but since this is a voting thing, maybe the overwhelming popularity of the
never know.
Connection.
Hello, D, all day. Suck it, Archie.
That's Bobby Anders.
Okay.
Go to sleep, Bobby Anders. It's past your bedtime.
Whoa, did you just rip ass?
No, it was his door.
Go to the doctor. My God.
What did you eat?
I know she works at McDonald's, but you don't have to eat it every day. The next team is represented by Jason Cooper, and it is Kane and The Undertaker.
Brothers of Destruction.
Kane and The Undertaker. The
Jason
Brothers
Cooper.
of Destruction.
Not a conventional tag team. They were really only together, when they needed each other, but decent tag team. I like both. I'm a big Undertaker fan. I have no problem with it.
And quite frankly, I mean, when you talk about those two guys, you talk about longevity, loyalty to the company, drawing power. They were a force to be reckoned with.
Now, if they would have teamed together as Mean Mark Calloway and Bruiser Mastino, I don't think they would have gotten over as strong as they did.
The Calistino team is not working there.
Yeah.
Or Glenn, Mark and Glenn.
Right. Look, it's Mark and Glenn.
It sounds like a retail management team.
Hey,
right. He's like, hey.
Their team name is the Dockers of Destruction.
And Barry Darso is Mr. Hole in One. He's their manager.
Mark comes down. He's not on a motorcycle. He's in a golf cart.
Right.
Here's Glenn.
So the team that they're going to be facing is managed by John Wilson, and it is Demolition.
Oh yeah,
so it's the Brothers of Destruction versus Demolition.
Demolition is not my favorite tag team of all time, but they are one of my favorite tag teams.
I agree.
And you talk about late 80s, early 90s WWF, you're talking about Demolition, man. They were the tag team division.
this is gonna be a hard hitting match if this happens. You know, Demolition pounding away on Kane. The Undertaker comes in, delivers a couple clotheslines, old school. Maybe Crush comes down and pulls the Undertaker's leg from underneath him. Damn.
Mr. Fuji and Paul Bearer on the outside.
I was just about to say, Mr. Fuji, Charles Salt, and Paul Bearer.
Oh, no.
You guys ready for the next team?
Ready.
This team was it's represented by some prick. It's the Hart Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that Nate?
Yeah, that's Nate.
All right.
My favorite tag team of all time, the Hart Foundation. There's no
Really?
I don't know that, and again, we talk about the Midnight Express and blah, blah, blah. And maybe, just maybe, at the end of the day, some of those teams were better, but the Hart Foundation is my favorite tag team to watch have a match with anybody. Those two guys together. It's funny because I'm not Neidhart. Neidhart really wasn't very good on his own.
Neidhart, no, Neidhart was good.
I don't know. I love him in his team with Brett. They're perfect together. Absolutely perfect together. In any incarnation, like when the early Brett and Jim, when they're kind of swarmy and Brett's kind of chubby and like they're with Jim.
And they're just shitheads.
Yeah, they're shitheads. And then as they turned babyface, they became a really great babyface team too.
Right. There's an RF Shoot interview with those two.
Mm-hmm.
And Neidhart's coked out, and Brett's drunk, but it is what it is. But Brett said it best. When they were heels, they didn't want to be like, ass kickers.
Mm-hmm.
Not what they wanted to be. Like Brett was like, when we were heels, he's like, we wanted to be like the hyenas,
Yeah.
Like just like nah, nah. And like Neidhart does it great because he's like, Brett was like, yeah, we wanted to be like the hyenas, and Neidhart was like, yeah, we were just like nah on you, and just like if they would hit somebody with a chair, all of them would just be like like the heel Hart Foundation has no redeeming qualities. They're just shitheads, and that's basically what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it doesn't get talked about a lot because I don't know why it doesn't, and it might be because it's so much looked on more fondly, and they were more whatever his face is. But like heel Hart Foundation was fantastic.
I agree. Heel Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart. And then Heel Hart Foundation in the late 90s during the Attitude Era. I'm all for Heel Hart.
But like that Hart Foundation with like Jimmy, Brett, Jim Neidhart, and this guy deserves to be in it too because he was technically part of the Hart Foundation. Danny Davis, that whole group together was fucking great.
Right. It was the Harts that caused Danny Davis to actually turn.
Yeah.
I think it was during a Hart match where they finally realized he was screwing people over.
Anybody else think when they watched Danny Davis, he would have been great, like doing like a Dick Tracy heel gimmick, like a monster gimmick?
Yeah.
He looks like a Dick Tracy. He looks like a Dick Tracy bad guy.
And like, his tights and everything matched. He was wearing white with stripes. It was perfect for a Dick Tracy character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He could have played Flathead.
Yeah. I agree.
So unless we have anything else on the Hearts.
Nope. Go right ahead. Who are they facing?
Come on. Who do I got?
You have, represented by Mandy, will be the Steiner brothers.
Oh my God!
Wow, I like that.
Oh,
it only happened one time in real life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One time.
I don't think it ended. I don't think it ended in a decision either when they fought. I'm not sure.
No, it was on some fucking random like goddamn Coliseum.
Yeah, and I think it ended in a double count out or
something, or whatever they call it.
I'm sorry, Mandy. I hate to tell you, but much like Sonny in Poughkeepsie, New York in 1995, the Steiner brothers are going down.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to say you're going to take it in the butt.
Oh God, Nate just turned heel, and then Aaron made it worse.
Well, Sonny probably took it in the butt in Poughkeepsie.
Come on, everybody! If you vote for the Hart Foundation, you're voting for me. They're probably going to vote for the Steiners just to not vote for me, but that's all right.
I'm torn. I don't know.
Archie's going to make his vote.
So was Sonny in Poughkeepsie.
Damn that Ahmed Johnson. All right.
Can you imagine Ahmed Johnson finishing? Is that too much for live?
No.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
All right. Are we ready for the next team?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that we've taken that Pearl River plunge.
The next team is represented by Jamie Ward, who I think's been around from the beginning as a Facebook member.
What's his name? Or what's
Jamie Ward.
Jamie Ward. Okay.
He also picked the 300 group. Go ahead.
Yes, he picked Michael Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
The Freebirds.
Good team. Who were never better than they were in world class.
I agree.
In like between 82 and 86.
Nobody knew how to book them like world class did.
No. And I know Aaron's a fan of the Hayes Garvin Freebirds. I am not a fan of the Hayes Garvin Freebirds.
I'm gonna say this. That's not the Fabulous Freebirds to me. I'm a fan of Jimmy Garvin.
Right. I agree with you.
That's where you and I differ, Nate, because I know you don't like Jimmy Garvin. But the glam rock big hair with DDP and Big Daddy Hump or whatever they call it.
Big Daddy Dink.
Yeah.
They didn't, and they it wasn't necessarily. I mean, they had good matches with like the Young Pistols and stuff, but
that team, that Hayes and Garvin, okay, would have been fine if they were called anything else but the Fabulous.
Yeah.
This is what I'll chime in with this. I'm a Fabulous Freebirds fan. It made no sense to me that WCW did not know how to book them properly because they were based in Atlanta, where the Freebirds were over, because that's where they were from.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that Jimmy Garvin wasn't essentially a Freebird. It was by name only. But what I will say is that I think that when they put those two together, Michael Hayes was kind of at the twilight of his career and hanging on, and they weren't a Freebird-like tag team.
Right.
So they were a great team, but just not under the Freebird banner. They could have been called, like Aaron said, they could have been called anything else, but not the Freebirds.
All right. The next person or the next team, and I don't want to mess up his last name, but they're represented by Tracy Warb, I believe is how you say his last name.
Can you spell it?
IT.
What?
You said, can you spell it?
Oh, thank you. Very
You're
good.
welcome. WOROBE.
Warobe, I believe.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Not whatever on your last name, saying that, I know who you are and you've been tagged and everything like that. But he picked the Funk Brothers, Dory Jr. and Terry.
Good tag team.
So it'll be the Freebirds versus the Funks.
Let me tell you something, Garvin.
The first tag team to take the Texas flag and fly it high. And now and then the Freebirds went into feuding with the Von Erichs. It's like more Texas, Georgia shit going on. So that's a good thing.
I like it. You
Dory
both know
Funk.
I'm a huge Terry Funk mark.
I'm a huge Terry Funk fan too, man.
And it's I think I was never that much into Dory, but them as a tag team was great. Another hard hitting tag team. I think if we could get into like maybe the third round and it'd be the Funks going up against Stan Henson and Bruiser Brody, that might be great. But we'll wait and see.
Dory was like a good. Like, I shouldn't even say he was a guy that was a good wrestler. Dory Funk was a fantastic wrestler, but he was not my cup of tea. He's
That's
pretty.
what I don't have any problem. I just never was a fan because I didn't really watch him as a single. You know,
and I think the thing that hurts me with Dory Funk is that Dory Funk is in that era right before wrestling would be interesting to me.
right?
You know what I mean?
Same reason I'm not a big fan of Jack and Jerry Briscoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not my wrestling.
I understand why people in the 70s liked Dory Funk. I just don't like Dory Funk.
Well, I feel the same way about Bruno. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
I'm not a big fan of. I can't call myself a big Bruno fan because first of all, he was more before my time, and his style was before my time. But there's no doubting that for his time, he was fantastic, and what a fucking draw. You know.
Exactly.
So,
I respect what he did for the business. I can't say that I was a part of it. You know what I mean? Same thing. Any of you, I'm sure you guys have watched an Antonio Rocca match, but guy was a ballerina. We don't.
Yeah.
That's not our wrestling. We don't know anything about that.
I know he was a terrible color guy.
Right.
This Nick guy said, "What's up, everybody? What's up, Nick guy?"
That's Nick Laura, my admin brother in World Championship Customs.
Anything else on the Funk Brothers?
I see them going over the Freebirds. If anything, I'm sorry to Jamie Ward, but
all right. The next team was picked by Mike Phillips, who was actually a worker. And he picked Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens.
Bockwinkel and Stevens for all accounts, and once again, it's a matter of when we grew up and where we grew up and all that stuff. But I don't have, like, AWA is probably the major wrestling promotion I have seen the least of. But for all accounts and purposes, from everything you ever hear from people that were around that territory and around that time and have extensively watched it, apparently Bockwinkel and Stevens were one of the greatest tag teams ever.
yes,
Everything
I agree.
there's not a lot that I've seen. Everything I've seen has been perfect.
Ray Stevens was the personification of technical wrestling.
And you spring Bobby in there,
right? That's what I was going to write. Every Ray Stevens match I ever saw was a technical dream.
Right.
The guy didn't miss a beat. Even if he was taking the bump, he still made it look effortless. You know what I mean? There's guys that have been in the business now 20 years that still don't know how to take a bump the right way.
Anything else on those guys?
No.
All right. The next team was picked by Brent Winters, and when he picked it, I popped because it made me super happy that somebody picked these guys.
Okay.
And it's the awesome twosome. It's Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez.
Wow.
The Mustache World Order. I know we make jokes about their mustaches and shit, but Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez were actually a really good tag team.
Did they ever have a real name?
Yeah, they were the awesome twosome.
Was that their name? Okay.
Yeah.
All I could say is I would have much rather, and I know Rude did amazing things in the WWF with Bobby Heenan, and he was the Intercontinental Champion, but they never gave him the push that he deserved. I would have rather Rude stayed with the NWA and WCW, stayed with Fernandez, and then made his ascent to becoming the United States and the World Heavyweight Champion.
Just too bad they were saddled with Paul Jones as their manager.
I didn't mind him that much, Nate. He wasn't terrible.
I hate Paul Jones.
Who picked them? Who picked them, Aaron? Who was it that took Rude and Fernandez?
I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, it's down here against Tom Phillips.
Was it Mike Phillips?
No, that's Tom Phillips took Bockwinkel and Stevens.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know.
All right. I have it written down for you. You probably already have it written down. So
Yeah, I do.
all right, good.
The next team was picked by some. See you next Tuesday, and it's Tully and Arn.
The Horseman, baby. My fondest memories when I've told you guys this before. I started wrestling at WrestleMania 6, watching it.
You wrestled at WrestleMania 6?
Yes, I did. I fought the Orient Express in the opening match. No, but I started watching at WrestleMania 6, and for like the first 3 years of my life, of watching wrestling, I only watched WWF. When I finally found the NWA and went back and watched old tapes and old videos and things, the Horsemen were everything. And Arn and Tully were always front and center in those aviator clear sunglasses, in those suits with those belts. The promos they cut, and then we even said it during Saturday Night's Main Event with Bobby Heenan as the Brainbusters. Down to the promos and then getting in the ring with each other, they just knew how to make it all melt together the right way.
Hey, Aaron, Archie doesn't mean to toot his own team's horn, but toot. I always liked Arn when he first. I'm sorry, I've known getting off with the tag team, but it was funny when he first came in and he just like he had his underwear tights on, but then he had like the fedora.
Yeah, and then he wore like a Yankees cap.
All right, anyway,
so goddamn good.
Good luck, Mitchell.
I hope to see you in the finals, Maxon.
I don't have a team, man.
No, I mean your brother.
Oh,
because
I've always been called Maxon.
We've seen what the Hart Foundation versus the Brainbusters can do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's open SummerSlam.
All right,
it's a fantastic match. That was just
is that wasn't a knock at them. All right, who am I facing?
This team is represented by, and I hope I don't mess his name up, Rob Diskett.
Okay.
And he picked Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Degeneration X.
Wow.
So good luck with that.
Yeah, that's bad for me. I'm not gonna. People are gonna vote for them strictly on because they're young and they only know the X. They don't know the Four Horsemen. Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess I won't be seeing in the finals, Nate. Damn it! Why'd you have to pick DX?
Anything on DX? I think
I'm a Shawn Michaels mark. I like DX. It's just shit that I have to go against them. I want to redraw. I want my money back.
The next team was picked by Ian Totten, and he picked Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
To the extreme. Those two as a tag team were something to see. And eventually we're going to see it as we go through ECW and the 2300 pod. But those guys as a team were something to see for sure. And they had a couple of tag team matches in Japan when ECW was working with promotion. I forget, was it Wing that they were working with?
No, FMW.
FMW, yep.
They had some matches over in Japan with some of those Japanese teams who, to be honest, the guys with the Japanese teams, I don't know their names, but I know they were in some really good matches with Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
I know that the one match they had in Japan that they had back in the States, again, when those guys came over too, was against Hayabusa and Hakushi, or Jinsei Shinzaki, as his name is in Japan. And I always thought they were the mirror of each other.
Mm-hmm. You Jinsei Shinzaki, you're cleaning it up, buddy.
Yeah. Hayabusa reminded me of Sabu. Same marks on the chest, same outfit, everything, same high flying. And then Hakushi was the more calmer, mild-mannered, but still not afraid to do a crazy death-defying move like Van Dam used to do. So they were a great mirror for each other going up against each other. And they actually, if I recall, Van Dam and Sabu lost the belts to them for one day. And then Paul Heyman said, we can't recognize the title change because it wasn't on TV. So they had to have another match in the arena and lose the belts back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And anything else on that?
Nope.
All right. The next one is represented by Nathan Roberts. And it's actually kind of crazy that this happened, but it's another ECW team. I'm just showing everybody.
Is it the Eliminators?
The Dudley Boys.
Oh, good.
RVD and Sabu.
Good.
The Dudley Boys.
Good
so we'll
matchup.
be seeing. It'll be ECW versus ECW on that one.
Those two teams fought each other quite a few times.
Yes, they did.
The Dudleys are a hard-hitting tag team. I think they got really crazy when they got to the WWF, even more crazy than when they were in ECW, putting Mae Young through a table.
I want to say, and this isn't...
which is one of the greatest things that's ever happened in
Oh, yes, without a doubt.
This is my... I don't know. I don't want to come off as saying that I dislike the Dudleys. But I do think the Dudleys are overrated as a team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy Bubba as like a bully heel piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy them as a team, but I think they're overrated. I think anytime anybody talks about them in the top 10 tag teams of all time, it's a bit of a stretch.
True story.
They had a lot of belts, but they were booked that way. You know what I mean?
Well, they were booked to win when they were supposed to, or when they didn't have another tag team.
When titles changed hands every 6 minutes.
Right. True story. I can vouch.
And it's kind of bullshit when they're like, they were the WCW tag team champions.
Yeah, they never were the WCW.
They were the WCW tag team champions during the Alliance.
Right.
They weren't.
I can vouch that Bubba Ray really is a bully piece of shit heel. In real life, that's his real attitude. I met him at a House of Hardcore show here in New Jersey. And I met him 2 years prior at another independent show with Devon. Nicest guy in the world. They took a picture with us. Jake the Snake photobombed us. We all joked. They talked to us. I meet him at House of Hardcore. I walked up to ask him how much he was charging. And this guy looks at me and says, if you can't afford it, step the fuck out of line.
Damn.
And I said, I just want to know because I want an autograph and a photo. What are you charging? That's all I want to know. And he started giggling, and I thought he was telling me, in the giggling way of going, I'm just playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
But then he said, no, I think it's best if you step off a line. And I literally said, there's no freaking way I'm getting this guy's autograph and picture now. And I got off the line and walked away. So.
Oh, fuck him then.
Tommy Dreamer came up to me and said, I don't know why he's in such a bad mood. I'm sorry. I'm like, no problem.
Guys, I'm gonna step away for a second just to switch from my phone to my computer because my phone's about to die. I'll be right back.
No problem. It's you and I, Aaron.
All right.
Let's get Nate banned. From Facebook again.
All right. The next team was picked by Don Ramirez, and it is the team of Doom. Ron Simmons lead.
Well, yeah, there was only one Doom.
Well, yeah, I was just stating their names.
I know.
And they had the coolest tag team music, man. Doom's music is fantastic.
I'm more of a fan of Doom with Woman than I am of a fan of Doom with Teddy Long.
Oh, like when they were in the mask?
Yeah.
We all know who those are.
Yeah, we knew who they were. Yes, we knew who they were. But something about the way that she played off of them and was their manager and actually gave her something to do. And then Kevin Sullivan slightly got involved too. But then Teddy Long took them. They lost the mask, and it was just like, okay, these are just they're just a Brutish tag team now. I'm not saying they weren't great. I like Ron Simmons. I like Butch Reed. I just think that they were better with Woman, in that they were more laid back and they were more maniacal.
Yeah,
You know,
understand, and it's a different presentation too. I mean, they were
right.
when they were in the masks. It was. I mean, I get it, and
It could be that I don't like Teddy Long, though. I mean, and it's just I've never liked Teddy Long. So I didn't like him as the SmackDown GM. I didn't like him as a referee. I didn't like him as a manager.
Okay.
The holla holla thing got me nervous.
I don't know how you don't like Teddy Long, but I like Teddy Long.
Holla, holla.
I know. Nate, do you like Teddy Long?
I do. I like Teddy Long. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I always liked Teddy. I liked him. I liked him with no teeth in the skullet. I liked him in the WWF. Yeah, I liked Teddy. One of the funniest Teddy Long things ever is when he's in that limousine.
Yeah.
The Undertaker's coming after him.
And it turns purple.
Undertaker turns around. Teddy's reaction. It's fantastic.
My favorite Teddy Long thing is when he has his heart attack at his wedding.
Yep.
The SmackDown wedding of Teddy Long is one of the last great things the WWF did.
He was marrying Crystal Marshall then. I think Bobby Lashley's a real wife in real life.
Yeah. But Doom, he was represented by
Ramirez.
Don Ramirez.
I just have it as Ramirez.
Okay, that's fine. They will be facing the Hollywood Blondes, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, and they will be being represented by a guy that's in our group, and he's Nate. He's a Northie. He grew up right around where we grew up. Ernie Burgess grew up with that guy, and he lived right by the not the corner store that we went to, but the really bad one.
The really bad one. Yeah. Not the bad one. The really bad one.
The really like how we had the junkyard over here by us.
Mm-hmm.
But you go the other way. That's where he was at. Just to kind of give you a
mad respect, Ernie. Mad respect.
Yes, and he's still living in T-Town. He's doing good. He's not working right now just because he was working at Seagate, so they got him on furlough or whatever. But Ernie picked the Hollywood Blondes, so it'll be Doom versus the Hollywood Blonde.
I am a big fan of the Hollywood Blondes. I'd put them in my top 5 tag teams that that I like. I wish they would have got more time together. I think they were together a year?
Not even a year, and it was because that was that time where WCW had a new booker, a new writing team every week, and they fell out of favor with whoever was in charge. I think it was Ole.
Yeah. Bill Watts, I think, put them together, and then Ole Brian got hurt, obviously, so they couldn't really continue. But Steve Austin says it best when he's doing a shoot interview. He says, I asked him, put me and Brian back together, one of the best tag team you guys have had in a long time. We had matches with the Horsemen. We had matches with all these tag teams. Put us back together. The tag team division needs us. And Dusty Rhodes looked at him and went, no, baby, that's not meant for you. We're gonna do something else with you. And I was like, wow, I didn't know Dusty said no to people.
Mm-hmm.
You hear people's stories about Dusty Rhodes, and he's always like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it. Like,
even if he's bullshitting you, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know Dusty said no. Wow. But I like the Hollywood Blondes. I think they needed another extra year on them and then go to the feud, with Brian and Steve, because the feud just seemed premature. And Colonel Robert Parker was like the worst manager for Steve Austin. When he was with Dangerously, I was okay with it. When he was with Lady Blossom, I was good with it. But Colonel Robert Parker just didn't fit with Steve Austin.
I like Parker as a character, but you're right. They kind of were. I guess they didn't fit.
You want Parker with a bunkhouse Buck or a Dirty Dick Slater. You don't want him with stunning Steve Austin. It just doesn't mesh right. Even though Austin is from Texas, you don't think of them together.
Right.
And Lady Blossom was stacked.
She was. Wasn't that Chris Adams' wife?
Until Steve Austin took that shit.
Right.
She's the one that came up with Stone Cold.
Is she really?
Well, she's the one that gave him the inspiration. He said he was trying to figure out a name to use because they sent him Chili McFreeze and Ice Dagger and all that garbage.
Right.
And she said, well, don't think about it too hard and drink your tea or it'll get stone cold.
Wow.
And that is what inspired him to call himself Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow. And then he married Deborah.
And
then he beat her up. And then he went along.
We calls them as we sees them here at the We Can't Wrestle podcast.
Steve Austin likes to hit women. It's his thing.
It's a thing.
Hey.
Yeah.
I ain't condoning it. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
You took a dark turn there. You took a really dark turn.
I didn't hit him. He did.
You brought it up. All right.
Anyway.
Who's our next tag team?
Lady Blossom also tried to give another guy a gimmick, but he didn't want to do it.
Who wasn't?
She was like, we've been calling you the gentleman, but we'd prefer to call you now Cockhold Chris Adams.
I don't know if that works for me, baby.
Well, it works for me now. Get out.
Go sit in the corner.
Like, you've made me sit in the corner for 5 years. Now you're going to do it.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
How many we got left?
We got 2.
All right.
We're done.
Because they're about to pull the plug on them.
Yeah. Then the next team is represented by Steve Solomons, and it's the Rock and Roll Express.
Let's get ready to boogie. It's the Rock and Roll Express.
Yes.
Man, I'm telling you what. First of all, one of the greatest tag teams ever. Secondly, two of the coolest guys. Yeah, two of the coolest guys I've ever met
in my life.
They were awesome. Archie, they let me wear their Hall of Fame rings. Those guys are
I've
great.
never heard anything bad about Ricky or Robert, and the fact that they're still wrestling.
And well, Aaron and I watched them live like a year ago, and they were electrifying, man. They were electrifying. They are so good at what they do.
I think,
and Ricky Morton was out there, and they were doing some shit, and nobody was reacting, and he was like, "Man, the matches before this must have been shit." Super loud.
But that's what you expect from Ricky Morton. That's that's what you expect from him. No, I think Ricky Morton.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak over you.
No, go ahead.
But I have never laughed that hard at a wrestling show in my entire life. And when Ricky Morton was like, "Come on, get up." Man, the match before this must have been shit. He fucking shit on the entire show.
Promoters like, we ain't booking him again. If I'm not mistaken, fantastic. Ricky Morton is set to do a one-on-one match against Brian Pillman Jr. next month.
No, he's fighting Joey Janela.
Oh, Janela, yeah. I hate Joey Janela.
Well, Ricky Morton's fighting Joey Janela.
I hope Ricky Morton kicks his ass.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
I'm not either. I'm just saying it's Joey Janela. On that note, the last person to have a team is Eric Lund, and he picked.
No, I'm kidding. I don't even know who it is.
He picked Haas and Benjamin, the world's greatest tag team.
Fantastic tag team. One of the most underrated tag teams of all time.
And this would be a fantastic match.
Yes,
I agree.
Rock and Roll Express against the world's greatest
Haas and
tag
Benjamin?
team.
Jesus Christ!
Hell yeah!
I wouldn't mind watching it. I could see it in on either an episode of Raw or on a pay-per-view. I think both teams would gel together very well. So I ain't got no problem.
Not a bad worker.
Tournament's put together, guys.
All right, there you go.
Nope. Tournament's put together. It'll start on Tuesday.
Oh, so
at about 8 o'clock.
We're going to take the holiday off for the tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to pay these guys trans on holiday plane tickets. Jesus.
Nope, notebooks ain't cheap.
No, they're not. one of them 97-cent motherfuckers. This is an exceeds, bitch.
Oh shit!
You only bought one subject though.
There's only one tournament.
Yeah, but you could have used the other subjects for the stats.
Stats.
Yeah, who got the most votes? You know, who lost
doing
the
that
who?
shit? Ain't doing that shit. Anyway, I got my Exceeds notebook. Shit's in there, guys. Starting on Tuesday. Tournament will start at about 8 o'clock.
I don't mean to be like Paul Heyman, but spoiler alert: the Hart Foundation's taking the whole thing.
Nah.
Good teams in here, man.
Hart Foundation will be losing in the second round.
Damn.
We'll
I'm
find
going
out.
out the first round because I'm against D fucking X. Jesus. Of course, I got the mainstream tag team.
You know how many guys in the back probably said that we're gonna lose tonight? We're against D fucking X.
Right. Right. Hunter's putting himself over again.
Shit.
The boss's daughter. He's married to the boss's daughter.
Maybe I see Cody. You're the future of the business, but first
you're gonna lose to DX.
We're gonna bury your face on my butthole.
Right. Right. That's what caused poor DiBiase to go off. He didn't want to wrestle anymore. He's like, fuck this shit.
I've been tossing Hunter salad for 6 months. Can't do this anymore.
You know what? Everybody doesn't have a price.
Cody went and dyed his hair and made his own company.
Yeah.
Taking belts off of Brody Lee.
I mean, Just Incredible got so sick of tossing their salads, he went to actually tossing salads at Olive Garden.
Now wait a minute. You're hosting a show about ECW and you're gonna make that joke?
I would make that joke on that show.
What if Chad gets Justin to be on the show?
I'd make that joke to his fucking face.
And he'd probably be so high, he'd be like, what? I swear I saw him on one of the live virtual meet and greets, and he looked so wrecked out of his mind, and the guy running it's like, Justin, you got to sign that. Justin, you got to sign that. He's like, what? Yeah, he's got to sign. You got to sign that. Who am I signing it to? Said the guy's name. He literally took the picture, showed it to the camera, and did this, and then handed it to the guy. And I'm like, wow, that's worth $35 all day long.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
So,
all right, that's the Olive Garden life, though.
When you're there, you're family.
And much like the bread, you're baked.
Right.
He's keeping Virgil filled.
Meat sauce for days. Now, you mentioned Virgil. Now we got to pay him $20. Are you happy?
Damn it. That's not in the budget this month.
It's really not. You bought an Excel notebook. How are we going to pay Virgil?
Virgil's got to buy his own bologna Alfredo this year.
As always,
all right, guys.
As always, we close in style inside the We Can't Wrestle podcast. Aaron,
we don't know the meaning of the word.
No, yeah, we really don't. There's no class here. But we look forward to the tournament.
It's all low.
As it gets started on Tuesday.
Class, but it's all low. That's like a Don Rickles joke.
And stay tuned.
It's all low.
Stay tuned to the We Can't Wrestle podcast page. Aaron will be posting the tournament as it goes along. Keep a lookout for those posts.
That's right. Kyle and I will be back on Tuesday to talk about the draft that just happened. And it's going to be.
I might do a run-in.
You are more than what you know. You're always welcome.
I know. I ain't gonna know shit about what you guys are talking about, but I'm gonna do a run-in.
You know what? It'll make it better because at least we'll have an objective opinion, a non-objective opinion on what's going on.
And somebody handsome.
Okay. I won't even argue that with you. I really can't even argue that with you.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you, Archie and Kyle, everyone. We'll see you Tuesday. Aaron will be around with the posts on Tuesday.
And we did this in under an hour.
Yes,
so
we did.
Suck my ass, Nate. Told you I could do it.